what they give us. We give the effort they give us.
And Rashad and Chris Jenkins are live here at Bank of America Stadium as we are getting ready to take on the Miami Dolphins. I'm Chris Jenkins. This is Rashad,
Absolutely.
One half of Panther Nation podcast. This young man has to get out of here early today because he is truly VIP. Going to be holding up the flag today for the Carolina Panthers. So we're going to have the full-length flag or what?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I won't know until we get to the practice field. So the full-length flag was huge. I don't think that's the flag we'll do today. I don't know, though. I have no idea.
Now the lights seem extra bright.
It is bright, but we're good. We're
going to adjust things here in a second. We're going to do what we always do, which is get you guys ready for this Carolina Panthers matchup against the Miami Dolphins. And as I get a few things in place, I always like to ask this gentleman to the left of me, who has on his fraternity colors today of blue and white. I don't know the official colors for the Dolphins, what they call that, but
yeah.
Let's talk about the atmosphere walking up to the stadium and what you see today, because I'm still just a little bit. It's almost like a mini Dallas to me.
Sir, yeah, there's a lot of Miami Dolphins fans here today. This is one of those takeovers, and as bad as they have been, and as bad as we are, you would expect this game to be light across the board. But there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of Miami Dolphins fans, or as I should say, the whales in the sun, as my niece calls it. The whales in the suns of Miami Dolphins. I had my niece do the NFL logo challenge on TikTok. It's going around.
Okay.
She called the Dolphins the whales in the sun, so that's what I'm going to call them today. So a lot of them today. A lot of those guys here today.
I'm not cool. So what's the challenge?
So the kids are guessing the NFL logos with
Okay.
no context. You just pull up the logo and they say what first thing that comes to their mind. And my niece said that it was the whale in the sun for the Dolphins.
The whale in the sun.
The whale in the sun. So that's what the Dolphins are today. And the Panthers with the Tigers. So that's what we are.
The Tigers.
The Tigers versus the whales in the sun.
May I ask how old is this young lady?
She's 5.
She's allowed to be creative.
Yeah.
She's allowed to be creative.
She got the Chiefs right, though. She got the Chiefs right.
Super Bowl champs.
Right.
All right, so we're going to get you guys up to date because, again, he has to go. So I'm going to run through some things a little bit just so we can make sure that we have time to have the banter that we love to have. We're going to do some predictions. Did we do a prediction last week? Was that part of our fun last week?
I don't know if we did it. I don't know. But we should stick with the same format that we stuck with last week because it worked pretty well.
My head is spinning. I don't even know what happened. Hey, we're going to take a look at the latest transactions that have taken place. The Carolina Panthers yesterday, these transactions took place. They activated defensive end LeBron Ray from the injured reserve to the active roster, so we should expect to see him today. And then we activated linebacker Chris Barnes from the practice squad by standard elevation. So those were our 2 elevations for today. Any comments on that?
Yeah, it's interesting to see Chris Barnes get activated. We need some linebacker help to the utmost. And I don't know that he's going to be an answer to all of our problems, but it is good to see another name out there get a chance. LeBron Ray, I think it's good for him to get on the field. There's one activation I'm waiting to happen. It did not happen this week, but the buzz on the street is it's going to occur. The buzz is that it's going to occur next week is Jalen Coker.
Jalen Coker?
Yeah, he's next week. Next week. That's the word on the street, Chris.
Yeah, all right. That would be good if he comes back next week. We're going to go and also talk about the record of these 2 teams as they get ready to match up today. The Carolina Panthers are 1-3 after coming off a nice L.
Shellacking.
Up in Boston. Final score in that game was New England 42, Carolina Panthers 13. Miami Dolphins, they're streaking. They have won their first game of the season last week against the New York Jets. And they are the score in that game was 27-21. Also a game that they had a significant injury to their star wide receiver Tyreek Hill, which, man, it's like the NFL kind of gets raw sometimes.
Yeah.
Like there's already reports saying that he's not even going to come back next year. Like they're not going to.
Yeah, that injury looked nasty. So not a good – and his speed is his game.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be back to his normal self. Depending on the injury, I'm no doctor, but hopefully everything goes well with him. He's an extreme talent, and hopefully we don't lose him.
But how are we going to say the guy ain't coming back already? Can we at least let him, get to hobbling on crutches before we let the world know, we're done with Tyreek. Enjoy your time off.
I don't know.
You don't have to come back to the facility while you're recovering. Just stay home.
It's unfortunate. For sure.
Hey, these 2 teams have not played each other much. 8 times they played, 9th matchup today. You did good last week. Sometimes you know this stuff. How many times? Who leads? Dolphins or?
I have no idea.
You don't
on this
even
one.
care.
I really don't.
He doesn't
to be honest with you. I'm just based on the history, without looking at your computer screen. I'm gonna go. I'm trying to think. I'm going to go Miami got this one.
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah.
We don't have the hedge over too many people. Currently, Miami leads 6-2.
Yeah,
and I think the last time we played, I don't know.
I don't recall.
Then I got some notes in here that are completely irrelevant. I don't know what that's about, so we'll skip over that. And we will start to look at some of these stats. Let's go into some stats. By the way, we already got a super chat, so let me go ahead and thank you for that super chat and play the sound effect that you're now going to hear. We got two of them. We got two of them, so we're going to try to bounce to them real quick. Man, they're going to hate to see you go.
Super chats.
I
like them.
Brenda Alford, glad to see Rashad brought the headband back. Does that mean anything?
Well, so when the Panthers start doing bad, I start shedding Panthers gear. I start turning things inside out.
Okay.
So I have the Panthers. Well, I have to have on Panthers gear today because I'm participating in this thing. They encourage us to wear Panthers gear, so I do have my headband on. If it gets ugly, I'll flip it inside out. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
Yeah.
Chris Mack says, hey, what's y'all's belief in the offense this week? So I'll let you quickly touch on that because we got to speed through.
Yeah, no, I think it's something needs to change today. You get XL back. I'm hoping that XL this is a get-right game for him. Man, a good 4-catch, 50-yard game for XL is something he needs. I think, the offense needs to get some traction here. Even in the 30-0 win against the Falcons, the offense still struggled a little bit.
Yes,
so it's good. We need to see them get on the right track. Let's get the run game going. No Chuba Hubbard, obviously. That's going to hurt a little bit, but I do have some hope in Rico. I like the way Rico runs. He's an aggressive runner, runs strong. So I'm excited to see Rico get more love, although we need the tandem back there to get healthy. So I hope they get it right, man. More T-Mac. I want T-Mac to get his first touchdown. So I gotta this is a game that the Miami Dolphins don't have the greatest defense in the world, right? So this is a game that we can get right with, but any game we're supposed to get right with, we don't get right with. And so we'll see. We'll see. It's for the taking for sure.
All right, a quick shameless promotion here from myself here. Do interviews each week with players I can't say in the locker room, I say in the stadium. This week I had a chance to sit down with my man Bryson Tmaine. I'm going to play a clip for you. One of the fun questions I like to ask these guys is something fun about them that maybe not everybody knows. But let me play this clip for you really quick.
Man, a fun fact.
Yeah. Sound like you got a few of them.
I mean, my favorite hobby outside of, I guess football's not a hobby, but my favorite thing outside of football is fishing. I love fishing. I'll just go on Google Maps and try to find wherever the water is and and take my pole in my car and just go there and go fish and try to catch something.
Is there a favorite type of fish that you want to catch?
Any fish you catch is a good fish. Any fish you catch. I'll try to catch a bass, and if I can't catch a bass, I'll put on like a little piece of bread or like whatever to try to catch like a little bluegill or something. So I'll just keep going down and down if I can't catch anything.
All right, so that's my interview with Bryson Tmaine. Be sure to check that out. That's on the playlist. We got a playlist dedicated 100% just to look at those 101. So check that out. Let's go ahead and look at some stats, Rashad, from the offense for the Carolina Panthers as well as for the Miami Dolphins. Let's see, I like to first pick on the top 10 things, and we have a good amount of time possession, even though that's just been absolutely worthless for us this season. Going down the list, we don't have anything else. Yes, we have sacks allowed, so we're keeping Bryce safe somewhat. His feet are helping us out a little bit with that this year. And then we have red zone percentage when we do get that. Not bad at all, being 6. Now let's look on the other side of the ball. We got, not the other side of the ball, the other team, Miami Dolphins, top 10 fumbles lost. They don't lose the ball much is what I'm assuming that means, right? Because this is offensive side.
Yeah.
And third down percentage, they're very, very good. And red zone percentage, they're very, very good. So continue to move along. I don't want to do special teams yet. Let's take a look at defense here. Defense top 10 for the Carolina Panthers. Interceptions.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we had, 3 in the first 4 games?
Yeah. I think we've had 3 total. So I think we're solid there. I think JC and those guys are doing a great job. The secondary is not the problem, right? It's that linebacker play. The pass rush is not very good. Once we get that together, I think we'll be better defensively. But the defense, to me, hasn't been the one to really blame here. If you're looking for blame here, you got to look at the offense. Defense has been pretty – they're not perfect. But they've done what we asked them to do.
They've done what we asked them.
They've been average, and that's what we want them to be.
Giving up a lot of points.
Yeah. Well, it's tough when your offense can't score, right? And your special teams can't stop anybody. They're putting our defense in terrible predicaments. So that context matters when you talk about the defense. Everybody wants to blame Evero and this defense, and I know the pass rush isn't there. I know that our linebacker play isn't perfect, but understand that this defense is getting put in awful predicaments. When special teams is able to return punts for touchdowns and return punts for 50, 60 yards, that's not a good look. That puts you in terrible predicaments. And so our offense has –
Now you done made me forget what we did. We'll touch on the special teams since he was venting about the special teams. It was just bad one week. The points that we are allowing are atrocious. And it's in the first, let's see, Jacksonville, Arizona, and now I'm forgetting one. I didn't drink all my electrolytes this morning, so I'm a little slow. But we've been giving up points per game unless there's 0, which was the shutout against Atlanta. And I feel like with the defense, they have been not teams will just throw the ball. We don't tackle.
Yeah, there's some issues there.
We don't, and when you don't tackle, whether it's a run play, like in he just run by. Yeah. All right, so we are back streaming, and I want you guys to let me know if the stream quality resumed back how it needed to be. Appreciate you guys letting me know about the difficulties. We were going a little bit slow there at the beginning, but again, let me know if we are back with some good broadcast quality. If so, we will continue to do what we do. So I'm just giving a second for the comments to load back up. And while I check to make sure this is back up and running. Let's see here. Looks like we're back. I'm going to take one more second to make sure that we're back. All right, so you guys sit back. Is the lag still there? Is the lag gone? As soon as I verify from you guys that the lag is not gone, then we will continue as we were. Thank you, Leonard, for letting me know. Let's see if they got one more comment from you guys to let me know that things are good, and then I'll continue on with the show, getting you guys ready. As also the Inactive should be coming out here in just about 7 minutes, so we'll be sure to go over the Inactives for that are going well. We don't have a lot of things going well. Got injuries that are stacking up, but we have Tedero McMillan, who's been doing great. He's actually second leading wide receiver in the NFL right now, only behind the number one guy out in Tampa Bay by about 5 yards. He currently has 278. The leading guy has 282, so I think that quick max is actually 4. But Tampa Bay's Emeka Egbuka, hopefully I said that correct, is leading the league overall for rookies and wide receiver. Concerns about this game as we go to check out some of the stats again, going back to the offense for the Carolina Panthers, right? Excuse me, that's the defense. Let's go to the offense. You see here our net yards per game, 24th, and then our passing yards 21st at 189. Part of the reason for that, a big part of the reason for that, is our guy Bryce Young is not being able to push the ball down the field at all. He's averaging just right at 5 yards per game. For that, I always like to show his passing chart, which you can see right here. Bryce does not get the ball down the field too much at all. This was last week versus the New England Patriots when he was 18 of 30, just 150 yards total. Now, the good thing from Bryce was that he did not have any turnovers. So anytime you don't have any turnovers, typically you're going to give yourself a chance to win. But as we all know, last week was a very, very bad game for special teams. It's complete opposite of what that's been all season long, where they're allowing guys to return punts for touchdowns, might as well return another punt for a touchdown, and, giving them the short field. So things just don't work out too well for you when you're having that happen. And then check out the defensive side. Let's go to the defensive side here with Tua. Well, not with Tua, but our Panthers defense, and then going against Tua. So we're just focusing on that left-hand side. Here's the things that we're going to be up against right now. Tua last week had his first game without an INT. But other than that, he's been having INTs every single week. So the amount of times that Tua turns over the ball if that continues, which you would have to say there's a pretty good chance if he's had 4 games, and he's only had one game where he has not had an interception or a turnover, that means 75% of the time this guy is turning over the ball. So what does that mean? That means look for opportunities from guys like, of course, ball hawk J.C. Horn, Mike Jackson. Shaw Smith-Wade isn't going to be out there, but in his place it will be Corey Thornton at that nickel position, and for when they need that to happen, to get some pressure on Tua, get some interceptions. Even though we've been lacking in pressures, hopefully that'll start to pick up for us. But when you got a guy that turns over the ball a lot like Tua, then that gives us some opportunities to maybe get a few extra possessions on the offensive side. And for me, this game today, with the deficiencies, and I'll put this back up here again, that both teams have on each side of the ball, then I feel like there's a chance for this to be, and I know this may sound funny, but there's a chance for this to be a little shootout between these two teams that are 1-3, because they struggle a lot on both sides of the ball. Both teams do, right? So that gives you that opportunity for that to happen. Now, let's talk about some of the things on the offensive side to be looking for the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill is out. So with Tyreek Hill being out, that means wide receiver Jalen Waddle, who I think he finished last week with about 50 yards receiving. He's obviously going to be their top threat that they're going to be looking at from the wideout position. And then we all know tight ends typically have some good success against this Carolina Panthers team. And their tight end has had some success, period, before he's come into this game. Their tight end is Darren Waller. He had 2 touchdowns last week. So, again, where we have weaknesses, they have strengths. Where they have strengths, we have weaknesses. And it just it's a lot of parallels between these two teams, which is why one of those parallels are both of these teams are 1-3. Now, running game for the Miami Dolphins. They actually have a fairly respectable running game. They got Devon Achane back there, who last week had 20 carries for 99 yards. Again, that could be a challenge for us, right? We are having not too much success stopping the run. We've had poor tackling, which has been our biggest nemesis at stopping the run. And, if a guy averages over 5 yards a carry, which they did for the Miami Dolphins, then that could happen, and that's something to be looking out for against the Dolphins. So, again, their tight end Waller, Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, their running back Achane, all some good forces that you want to be looking out for the Miami Dolphins. Now, for the Carolina Panthers, I already touched on their offense. Defensive-wise, we got Warner, who's been our leading guy getting pressures. Now, we all know pressures lead to sacks. Those are good to get, but he only has 8. But he's leading right now with the pressures. We got Turk Wharton back last week. He was able to get a sack against Drake May, so you'd hope that he continue to build on that, putting some pressure on Tua. Even though, again, last week Tua remained clean, right? Tua had some wheels on him to get free, so you're going to hope that it's fine if Tua runs free and we don't get any sacks on Tua. But if we get him running, we get him, not on top of his game and just throwing the ball out there to get rid of it to avoid the sack, throwing it into the hands of J.C. Horn, Mike Jackson, Corey Thornton, whoever, right? That bodes well for this Carolina Panthers team, so hopefully that'll be something that we're able to see today. And there's some smoke. There's a lot of smoke. Somebody has cigarettes and the weed stuff around me, so I'm slowing down a little bit, but we're going to keep making it through here. So let me check and see if our inactive list has come out. If so, we're going to go ahead and touch on the inactive list, and then we're going to play a few more clips from this week in the locker room with press conferences with the coaches and players. So let's take a look and see if this inactive list is out. Inactives are not yet out for this week, so we're going to continue to take a look back at this week. Evero, I just spoke about getting pressure on the opposing team, and Evero spoke just about that this week, so I'm going to play this clip for you.
Yeah, no, it's we certainly got to affect the quarterback more. That's that's very obvious, and we need to figure out a way schematically and in terms of playing better. It's a collective effort in terms of getting that done, and so that's certainly on the forefront of our minds. And the biggest thing that we just got to continue to do is just get ourselves in those situations where we can open up the playbook to more of our pressure packages, allowing those guys to cut loose on the rush plan. And so I still going to be a big key is going to be, stopping a run on early downs and getting to those favorable D&Ds.
All right, that was Evero talking about communication. One of the things that they need to improve on. I mean, you got to look at a lot of things. You can say communication, but your scheme, the way that you're going about it, getting some more pressure on these guys on the opposing team is something that he absolutely has to figure out. I know Rashad talked about the defense not being all of the blame. They're not the full blame, but I certainly feel like Evero has to take some responsibility and start to do something. Here's what I want to see from Evero, right? It's you got what you got. You have the players that you have, and now I want to see there's more of an opportunity for you to do some things that look different, right? Even if they don't work, I'm going to be okay with seeing things that are different. And we still haven't seen many different looks. Hopefully with some of the injuries that he's had, having to rotate other players in, that'll lead to some more creative things to get some pressure on the defense. On the offense from the defense. That's something that you got to do in order to give this team a chance. You look at what happened against the Falcons. That was some pretty good defense. There were things where I think a little bit of that Falcons game was helped by Penix just not having a good game, period, for himself, and just throwing the ball at times where you're like, what is he doing, right? But just doing a combination of things is going to give you a different look. I think is important for this Carolina Panthers team to look at. And let's see. Did you guys see the inactives came out? If they have, then I'm going to go over that. And nope, not yet. All right, no one inactives yet. So right now I'm going to play some more clips for you guys, getting you ready for this game. And also then I'm going to go to some of the questions. We've got a lot of good questions that are coming in. As you know, we're about a quarter of the way, unofficially just a tad bit over the quarter. They added an extra game to the season, right? So now we're today more than a quarter over, but a quarter way into it. The Carolina Panthers do not have a bye until December, so they have a very late bye. And what Coach Dave Canales said that they went to do this week was to evaluate this team, look at those first 4 games and say, hey, what do we have to do better? This is going to be a moment where we have all the coaches in here, and we're going to have a little bit of a deep dive right now. This is what Brad talked about they're going to do on the offensive side after they had a chance to go back and really do some self-scouting over those first 4 games.
Just kind of like putting our stamp for our guys, just to give you guys a little insight and a little picture of what we've been talking to our guys about this week is just focus and refocus, treating every rep individually, treating every game individually, getting to practice that out in the field here today, getting to practice that in the meeting room when we're talking about individual plays. You see it in a couple of our games of just some good sustained success, and then not being able at times to keep that going with refocusing, re-clicking back in.
So there was Brad talking about the need to focus, refocus, and I don't like that. You got to do more than focus, man. We're highly paid, highly skilled professional NFL players and coaches. Focus should not be something that we're talking about except for with our kids, instead of with grown men that are 21 to 30-ish years old out there. There needs to be some different play calling out there for Bryce. There needs to be Bryce getting comfortable with the play system, with the plays that are being called. We've had problems early this year where the plays aren't getting in quick enough, and then they're having to come out and rush. It seems like we've gotten over that. But I thought I'll say this to you guys, and I want to hear your comments. Could some of what's going on with Bryce be the fact that his height is not allowing him to see over the rush that's coming at him, and he's having to roll out? And when he's rolling out, now he's finding lanes to throw the ball in, but it's still limiting him and what he can see down the field. Versus you have Andy Dalton. It's like night and day difference. Andy Dalton comes in there, and I'm not saying that Andy Dalton needs to be our new guy, right? But Andy Dalton comes in there against New England, and you can say, yeah, he's playing against trash people. Well, Bryce has been playing against trash setups and schemes when he's been in there because teams have had such a big lead, right? You look at that Arizona game, a lot of people say that, well, he was playing against a prevent defense for most of the game, right? So that allowed him to get the ball down the field. When he was playing against that prevent, he didn't have the pressure coming up against him as hard as he was when they turned things up. You look at that last possession, again, going back to that Arizona Cardinals game, they didn't get anywhere. They didn't get anywhere at all. So I want you guys to look at that today as you're watching this game, about when there's pressure coming, do you feel like, does he have the line of sight that he needs in order to get the ball down there, make the choices that he wants to make in getting the ball down the field? I don't know. All right, so I got another clip that I want to play with for you guys. We're going to go this time to Bryce Young. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. We're going to jump back to Brad on talking about Xavier Legette. What has been going on with him being out there? Has they been seeing different things?
Yeah, I think one thing.
That did not play properly, so let's try that one more time.
And he's an explosive athlete, and one of the biggest missing pieces of our offense right now, if you just look at the stats, is the explosive plays, and also that's in both phases. So when you have an explosive athlete out there like Xavier, like Jimmy's going to get a chance this week to run around and provide some speed on the field, or you're just making plays down the field like T-Mac does. That expands the coverage, gives us more favorable looks for the running backs, in the box. So it really all ties in together, and Xavier is a huge part of that. When he's playing fast, he threatens the defense. He forces the coverage to back up, and that opens up a lot of lanes both in the pass game and the run game.
So I am back, and I heard that the inactives have just come out, so we're going to jump into that. But that was Brad talking about the difference with Xavier being out and in, so he's going to be in today. We got two new weapons back for Bryce today. We got Xavier that's going to be back. We got Jimmy Horn Jr. who's not back, but he's going to be out there for the first time. So just for my sake, please, that really should open up some more things for Tetaroa. I don't know if Xavier's going to have a game today where we're like, oh, yeah, he's back, because this offense always runs through this offense always runs through Tetaroa, right? So with Xavier coming back, possibly being some help to take some of the attention away that the defense will roll over to Tetaroa, and with Jimmy Horn being out. Now, Jimmy Horn's not going to be out there a lot, right? So let's get that in perspective. Don't expect to see Jimmy Horn out there every single possession. And when he's out there, it almost seems predictable on what you're going to be looking for. So you just want to make sure that when Jimmy Horn Jr. comes out there, that it's, is it going to be a jet sweep? Is it going to be somebody just going deep and just a decoy to open up something for Tetaroa, or even Xavier underneath? So I feel like today I'm not excited in the sense like, oh, man, this is absolutely going to be a game that the Carolina Panthers will win. But I certainly feel like there will be some opportunities out there for the Carolina Panthers with that. And give me just a second here. I have received word that the inactives are out. And I'm going to invite Ms. Stroline to come on out here and introduce you to her really quickly, as she's going to be joining us for a second. You can kind of stand there by me as I get the cameras reset. And did you drop, Ashley, the inactive list on your phone?
I have not done that yet.
Okay.
But I was in mid-tweet, and I was like, uh-oh. I
Look at X, and he's an explosive athlete. And one of the biggest missing pieces of our offense right now, if you just
not be playing, you can scoot just a little bit that way. We'll properly share the screen. There's about your mark right there.
There we go.
There, we got some things going on out here for you. But
I also feel like I'm playing security. Like, I've been watching Dolphins fans, and they really want to be a part of your show today.
Yeah, it's been interesting since you've been out. Now, normally we do have someone out here, not for security's sake, but just kind of watching. Right. And it's really been like one time all year that somebody's kind of come up and like, hey, can you get – but I think it's been 3 since you've been out here.
It's been quite a few.
And they come up really, really closely to check things out. So I don't know if that's what's an indication of what's going to be like inside the stadium here. That we're going to have some rowdy Dolphins fans,
it's
right?
It's possible.
Because they seem very bold.
Bold is a good way to put it. I appreciate their fandom, that
right.
They're here and they're like, okay, what is this? Can I be a part of it? But then I'm like, all right, have your moment and keep it moving. I mean, but the kid earlier, he even spoke. He was like, he had some words to say. The last guys at least just kind of had a moment and walked off.
It's been interesting. So what I'm going to do is, by the way, I want to introduce Ashley. Ashley's going to be working with us for the home game. She's going to be in the press box, holding down our social media for us, getting out those photographs that Patrick Snyder is already taking out there on the field. We got pictures during the game that are going to be instantly out there for you. And then keeping up to date with injuries and all that good stuff that we get in the press box to get that out there for you.
Yeah, we just got some photos of Bryce that I just tweeted out. As you mentioned, the inactives just came out. And then Patrick sent over some Tommy Tremble warming up.
Okay.
So we got all the things right now.
He's out there working hard?
He is.
All right, so I'm going to invite you to hang out with us here for the final, 5 or so minutes of the show.
Okay.
If you don't mind. And then we're going to right now getting the inactives on the list of the inactives, so I can put this on the screen for us to share. And then we'll answer some questions out there from the fans. If you have any comments, just jump on in there and join us.
Yeah.
And this inactive list doesn't have any surprises on it. Not in my opinion.
No, I don't think so either.
But I like to show it to the people. And did I get it up there? There we go. Technology, how about that?
Look at you go.
I tried. So you want to read it off? I like your.
Oh, you got it.
I got it.
You got it. You got it. I'm just kicking it here.
She's kicking and hanging out. So tight end Jatavian Sanders, he's out, which coach said a couple of weeks ago he's going to be week to week. So certainly no surprises there. He did not practice all week. Cornerback Shaw Smith-Wade, a.k.a. the guy who didn't want to tackle last week for some reason. I don't know why. I like you, Shaw, but that was crazy. But Shaw Smith, he's going to be out with that. I think it was a shoulder injury. I don't have his injury type listed here. Running back Chuba Hubbard, he's out. No surprise there with that calf. Linebacker Claudin Sherrillis. Defensive tackle Jaden Crumedy. Defensive tackle Tashawn Wharton is out. So those are our inactives for today for the Carolina Panthers. So that's it. We're going to go now and take a few questions before we get out of here and get into the stadium to prepare for these Carolina Panthers and Miami Dolphins. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more on the camera. I think I zoomed out. Hopefully I won't trip over anything. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we don't need to add you to the injury
report.
So we don't want that.
I don't want to be part of that injured report list. And now I hear some noise. Boom. All right, Ashley, you got a little bit to your left that you can squeeze out. There you go. You got your black tape down there.
I do, but I kept going. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's the monitor that draws people over, which I get.
I'm like, hey, okay, now.
What's going on? So we do plan to have another. There you go. You don't want to hear that static, right? You were hearing static.
Yeah, there we go.
You don't want to. I want to get you guys some monitors because I know it's like you kind of want to see what's going on, right?
Yeah, I think it's just a habit though. Like I could just be engaging and doing this, but for whatever reason, I guess my reporter mentality is like, oh, there's a monitor here. I got to look at it. I don't need to look at it.
That's all right.
I got you leading the way.
Well, I'm going to try. I don't know how far I'm going to get us, but we'll try. So we're just going to go over a few questions before we get out. Now there's people running. Come on, Ashley. You're no longer allowed to come out here.
What? What's happening? What happened?
I don't know what happened. All right, so let's go to a few questions before we get out of here. We got B Stallion, which always comes in and says something. Hey, Chris, great information as always. Hit that like button, subscribe, go Panthers, keep pounding. What he said, please do that, right? We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers ultimately, but our next hurdle is 15,000. We kind of got stuck at 13,000, right after the Houston joint practice. And it's like, come on. I think I can. So if you guys are enjoying.
You're on your way.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
If you guys don't mind, if you're already a subscriber, just hit the like button. Leave a comment. Those things help other people find our videos out there on YouTube, and we would appreciate it. Let's see what else we got out here in the comments. I need my glasses.
Uh-oh.
You guys are funny. What happened to that white guy with the hair this locks mane? You guys are too funny. So Andre Cassidy is who he's talking about, my co-host from 2 years ago. He'd had his hair whenever the wind would blow would look pretty peculiar. So they would pick on him. Loxmane and Andre would go at it all the time. So
was he just having a moment where the wind machine was out here working?
Yeah, and it just lifted up his hair perfectly where it looked interesting. So Loxmane, Andre Cassidy is still around doing his thing in Charlotte. He's just not with us, but I'll reach out to him and let him know that you said hello and that you miss him. But as you guys know, it's always a little rotating. I'm the staple. I'm always going to be here, and then occasionally I'll have Andre, I'll have Ashley, I'll have who knows who helping us out. But we continue to do what we do. But I'll let Andre know that you miss him. That was an interesting.
And I appreciate the opportunity to get to come hang out with you on Sundays.
Yeah.
So it's been nice. It's worked out. So
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Let's see what else we get. Ask Chris about Victory Monday. I wore a Victory Monday shirt the other day.
Okay, well, maybe you'll get a chance to wear another one then.
Maybe.
I feel like the Panthers have a chance today. So I hope that means you're doing something for Victory Monday tomorrow.
You want to talk about your feelings on the game today?
You know, what I'll say is it's beautiful weather. It feels amazing out here for a 1 p.m. kickoff here at the bank. A lot of fans out, which I usually walk over to the game, so I'd kind of take in a little bit of that atmosphere. And you get to walk over to from where you park, and so you get a chance to kind of just absorb what might be going on around game day.
Yeah.
And, I feel like there's some good energy out here. I've seen a little bit too many, Dolphins fans, but I don't know. We're kind of used to that, where we see, we have a mix of home and away fans. But the last time the Panthers were here, it was a pretty great win.
It was.
So maybe it's going to be the bank is where they find their success this season, and I'll take some home wins.
So when Rashad is here, that's one of the questions I ask him is talk about that walk up in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You came in a little bit later, so I want to know when you came in, what was your take on the crowd makeup today?
I mean, unfortunately, I do think there are a lot of Dolphins fans that are here. I saw a lot of the away colors, but I do think there's a lot of people out. And I do think maybe fans will say, okay, well, the last time the Panthers were home, it was a 30-0. We were feeling pretty good, all that. So I do think there's good energy. And I do appreciate, the last few seasons, you can't see it, but down this way, they've got a lot of activations for the fans. So it creates a little bit better of an atmosphere than I think that we've had in seasons past. So I think fans are out enjoying themselves. Why not? It's a great day, beautiful day. So I just hope we're hearing some cheers for the home team.
Anything that you're going to be looking for in particular today? Are you excited about today? Most fans are excited to see Jimmy Horn Jr. out there for the first time.
Yeah, he had a strong training camp.
Yep, had a strong training camp. Has been not getting a jersey all season. He's obviously going to get one today. Anything sticks out that you're going to be really looking for today?
I mean, with this team, it's so interesting because you have these highs and lows, and you have one game 1 week, and you're like, okay, well, next week I'm looking for this based on what I saw that week. And then the next week goes so incredibly disappointingly the opposite way that you're like, well, now I'm just going to go back to what I was looking for before we had that moment where we got that win. And so I feel like people who hear me talk about the Panthers probably think I'm a broken record, but you just want to see improvement. So whatever we saw last week, I need to see improvement from what that was. And I would like to think, okay, you had those first 2 games of the season, then you came here and everything clicked for you guys. Can you tap into whatever that energy was and find a way to show us that today?
That mysterious source.
All around, it's new, right? Canales is in his second year?
Yep, second year.
And Bryce is still a young quarterback. There's a lot of new pieces on this team. And so I think it's hard sometimes to really – I know, people are tired. It doesn't matter who was here before. It just matters what the record's been every season. And so fans want to see this team winning.
Right.
And, after the start to the season, I think my whole feed was just sad, nostalgic videos from 2015. And I was like, don't put me in my feelings, guys. We're 10 years removed from that. But I think it's been hard to have that. And you know what that was like. We both were here then. And to feel that energy in the city and what it was, and then not find a way to sustain what they found that season and now be what feels like so far from it. So I think you just want to see positive momentum, sustainable positive momentum.
A story kind of went viral this week about another podcast saying, hey, we're going to retire. We're not going to cover this team anymore because it's just not worth the time away from our families to do this kind of thing. And I think fan sentiment after that loss in New England is kind of like, here we go again. I'm going to watch this game for a quarter, and then I'm going to go do the lawn, go run some errands. Because of all that stuff, and this being the cardiac catch, I actually feel like, you know what, they're going to win today. You know why?
Right.
Just to keep you, those fans who are just like, all right, I was really just about to not care. You got 2 1-3 teams. You got them that had their butt whooping last week. There's again, I've talked about it throughout the show. There's vulnerabilities on both teams. There's a big reason why they're both 1-3. They do horrible jobs at a bunch of things, right? So both teams have that opportunity to win. I feel like Dave Canales is going to find that little mojo and that gives them to success. And that they win today, just for those fans that said, I'm tired of this team, to just keep staying on long enough to go insane, right?
I mean, you heard what Smitty said.
What?
Steve Smith a few weeks ago.
Fair weather.
He went in. So he's like, you better show up. But you also need something to show up for. So I see both sides of that. So.
Yeah, just a few comments before we get out here. Jer Brown looked like they just became a member. So let's give you a little round of applause there. Thank you so much for becoming a member and joining. And Mark says, you gotta see me squint because I still don't have on my glasses yet. I'm gonna fight this until the very end. But it says, I was sad to see that Dolphins receiver who dislocated his knee. That was Tyreek Hill that got hurt last week. And some people say we better win. So we better win. Hopefully we will win. And we're going to continue again. We're about to pack up right now, go inside. Ashley's going to be holding down our social media. So we invite you at this point to switch on over to Twitter and watch for the photos, watch for the game updates, and as far as injury updates as well. If those happen, she'll be able to get you up to date with that. And then as quickly as I can, we won't let everybody know I forgot my cart today, so it might not be as quick, but as quickly as I can, I will get down on the field post-game where we'll break down everything that happened in this game today, whether that's a win, whether that's a loss. We always have our great photographs from our photographer, Patrick Snyder, that I like to say, actually, that just tells a story, right? You know, if we didn't score, sorry, I'm going to have to show you pictures of a lot of the Dolphins scoring. But if we do score a lot, then I might have T-Mac, Jimmy Horn, and all that. We just tell the story with our coverage here. We'll also have stats. We'll have breakdowns and excerpts from Dave Canales, Bryce Young, and also insight from the locker room. So please make sure you turn your bell notifications to watch that, all right? So this is Ashley Stroline. I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe. Thank you so much for watching.